Usually, only 7 out of 10 manual processes are worth putting AI into, and none of them are the ones that are being pitched to you right now. This right here is a real company's processes mapped lane by lane. And there is one process on this board that looks like the perfect opportunity for adding AI into, but it's a trap. I've been building internal tools for companies for the past 7 years, and I've seen this pattern across dozens of AI audits that I've done. So I'm going to walk you through this map lane by lane so that by the end of this video, you'll know which process in your company are worth adding AI into and which processes you should leave alone. Because if you choose the wrong process, you'll just end up wasting your money. So let me introduce you to this company. It's PrepLadder. It's an edtech startup based out of India. They have 500 plus employees, but some of them have a job that every Monday they have to pull in report from 3 different tools, compile them, and send it to their manager. That's their Monday every single week. And in a company of their size, there are dozens, possibly even hundreds of employees who are doing the same thing every single week. This here is their operation. You have 4 lanes. Content ops is where the study material gets produced and updated. So you have quizzes, PDFs, everything that is needed for this tech platform to run. You have students data where your enrollments, your records, progress tracking, everything gets stored. You have support where the students send in their questions and doubts via chat or via email. And internal reporting is where management tries to understand what's happening across these 3 lanes. But these aren't exactly 4 separate things. Data is moving from one lane to the next. A student enrolls, that creates a record, that record gets used somewhere else, someone creates a report from it, and eventually the customer sees the result. And this is where the problem starts because everyone knows what everyone in their lane is doing, but they often don't know what people in the other lane are doing and what they need from them. Which is why you cannot decide where AI should go in until you understand how this entire map works, how your entire operations of your company works. Because AI is not a tool decision, it's a process decision. And I use 2 questions on every AI audit that I do. The first one is simple. Is the data this process depends upon actually clean? And the second one is this process documented somewhere? And is it documented well? If both are yes, the process is green, we are good to go ahead with this process. If one is yes and one is no, it is yellow. We need to fix something, we need to work upon it in order to make it green and ready to go. And if both are no, it's a no-go, it's a dead end. It's where you will burn your money. Now let's put the process on this map through those 2 questions. So we first have content update. So content update is green because the material lives in one system. The content team documents the process, so that's ready. Enrollment records, that is yellow. The process is documented, but the data is across 2 different places. The payment database can say that the student is enrolled, while the student database can say that the payment is still pending and the enrollment is on pause. So you have a process that looks fine, that looks clean, but underneath it's not really that ready. There is still a little bit of work that needs to be done in order to proceed ahead with any sort of AI implementation. Then there is academic integrity. Whether a student is involved in cheating, in some malpractice during the examination, that one is again green. You have clean data, you have documented process, it's all good. So far, nothing is surprising. But then we get to student support. And this is where I would expect everyone watching to say that this project is green. This is in fact the capstone project or the first project any company should prioritize and work upon. You have high volume, you have repeated questions. Students are asking the same questions through email and chat. So just put a chatbot there. But this one is actually red. It's a no-go because the answer you need, they're coming from 3 or 4 different places. And if those places disagree with each other, your chatbot doesn't know which one is correct. So now we have something interesting. The process that everyone thinks is easy, which should be high priority, is actually the one that I would leave alone with any sort of AI. And that's not just a PrepLadder thing. I see this all the time. Customer-facing projects get all the attention that they need because they're a great demo. A chatbot is a great demo. Clean data, on the other hand, is not a great demo. I would say it's not even a demo. But the real value is always in having clean data. Because if you don't have clean data, everything that you built on top of it is on shaky foundation. So let me take you to a map that I have. So we have 3 layers over here. At the bottom is the data foundation, where you're collecting the data, organizing it, cleaning it, and making sure that different systems, different databases agree with each other. In the middle are your internal processes, your approvals, your handoffs, your reports, everything moving between different systems. And at the top, you have your customer-facing processes, so support, onboarding, sales. But here's the mistake that I see nearly every company make. They start at the top. They see the chatbot, they see the AI agent, they see the customer-facing demo. But if the data underneath is wrong, everything that you build on top of it inherits the problem. If your support chatbot pulls in the wrong information, it will very confidently give the wrong answer to your user, which, if you ask me, is way worse than giving them no answer at all. So where would I actually put AI? Not in the chatbot, not yet at least. But I'd start at the bottom. I would start with the data foundation. I'd build a system that reads the data coming in, cleans it, stores it properly, and makes sure that there are no inconsistencies or errors. And if there are, it flags any of these inconsistencies. Not a dashboard, not a chatbot. And for a company of this size, or even a smaller company with say 15 to 100 employees, this can easily replace hundreds of hours every single year. But the bigger win is that your data agrees with itself. If you remember that yellow enrollment process, we did not build anything for enrollment. We just fixed the data underneath it. And when we do that, the process automatically changes from yellow to green. And that's the part that I want you to notice. The AI project wasn't the enrollment. The AI project was the foundation that made the enrollment possible. And once this foundation is fixed, you can start moving up the value chain. More internal processes become viable and feasible to be improved with AI. More reports become reliable. And eventually, the student support chatbot becomes a reality. Maybe in month 4, maybe in month 6. But there's one more problem. Even after you fix the data, even after you document the process, even after everything is clean, there are still some decisions where I would always keep a human in the loop. Academic integrity is one of them, because a wrong call over here, that will not just cost you a user, it can cost a user their standing and their progress. And only a human can explain why they made that call. So this isn't about asking where AI can do the job. AI can do a lot of jobs, AI can do a lot of things. The better question is, where does it make sense to let AI own the decision? And those are two very different questions. Across the AI audits that I've done, usually about 7 to 8 of the manual processes are worth putting AI into. That's just my personal number from what I've seen in my experience. So take it as a pattern, map your processes, ask the 2 questions that we have over here, and see how many of your processes are actually green. Because you might find the AI project you thought you needed isn't actually the project you need at all. And if you're curious what an AI implementation actually costs, what would be the timeline, what kind of AI implementation you actually need, I have another video that's linked over here. I put out videos every week related to the practical aspects of AI implementation in companies, so subscribe if that's you.